Hi everyone, welcome back to DataZard. I am Radhika and today we are going to be working with page navigation in Power BI. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we are going to be solving Workout Wednesday 2022 Week 2 challenge and we are going to be creating this dashboard which has page navigations at the top. Let's jump into our Power BI report. I am using the Power BI file which is already provided in the challenge and I have downloaded and opened it now. And the first thing that we are going to do is change the canvas background. So I'll go into canvas background and change the color to this blue color. Now for the first page, I'm not going to create the visuals in PowerPoint. I have just taken a screenshot of what is provided in the challenge and I'm going to bring the image in Power BI. So for that, I will go into insert and select my image and click on open. Now this is the image which was used in the challenge, so I've just used it as is. Let us create the rest of the pages. So I will call this page problem. Next one would be cause. Then we have data and lastly solution. Once we have created all these pages, I will go to insert, go to buttons and then choose navigator and then we can choose page navigator, and that is why I have created these pages first so that it knows what are my pages and can give us the name of the pages directly. And then when I go to causes page, I have to click control and then press on cause and I will be taken to the causes page. Now let us just format this page navigator. So firstly, we will change the shape. So I'll click on shape and choose rounded rectangle. Once that is done, I'll go into style, and for styling, for default one, it's important to choose the right state and do the styling. So for default state, I want things to be as is, except that we want the text size to be 12 so that it is clearly visible. And then I will change the state to selected. So for the selected one, what we need to do is we need to change the font color to a white color. And for fill, we don't want any border. And for fill, I will choose the blue color. So now this one is selected, so it's showing as problem with blue background and white font. Now what I'll do is I'll just copy this and paste it in causes. We will again change the canvas settings. So for canvas background, we want this blue color with 50% transparency. And now in causes, we just have a text box. So I'll get a text box, add my text in it, and we can start formatting this. So we want a white background. So I will go into shapes, get this rectangular shape and stretch it across. And now instead of this being a black color, I will change the style, remove the border and change the fill color to white color. And then we will go into modeling, into format and then choose send to back so that our text becomes visible. Now we have another text box which says 7 main factors led to food waste. And let's just place this. And for formatting, I will just put it in the middle. And we need to change the font color as well. I'll change to this blue color. So now if you see, we are at causes page. So this is selected. That's why it's with a blue background and rest of them are with a white background. And this is how our second page, which is the causes page, looks like. Now for the third page, again, I will copy this visual. So the page navigator and put it into the data page and then change the background of data page again to this blue background with 50% transparency. And now here, I will again get the shape. So we want a rectangular shape stretching across. And this should be white in color. So going into shape and style, we want the fill to be white color. Don't want any borders. And in formatting, we will choose send to back so that we can place all the visuals on the top of this shape. Now first we need to get a slicer, and this would be a ear slicer. So I'll select ear, and let us just format this. So for slicer header, let's just increase the size and let's just place it here. For color, let us choose turn on the background and choose this color with 80% transparency. I will copy this and get another slicer, but this time instead of a year, I will get it for sector. So now in this, I will select sector, and we will also select subsector because that's how it is in the challenge. So when we click on farm, then we get a subcategory in it. For slicer head title, instead of the sector and subsector, we will just say sector, increase the size to 12. I will also increase the size of the slicer values. So for that, let's go into values and increase the size to 12. Our next thing is we need to get a text box at the top. So for that, let's get a text box. And this says food waste monitor data. And let's just format this. So we want as this font. And the font size should be 32. And let's put it there. Next, we want to get shape map. So I'll select shape map. And in shape map, we will first get state. So I'll search for state, get it in location. And for color saturation, we want the surplus. So I'll select tons surplus for saturation. Now to change the colors, I will go into fill colors and select the color palette that I want to use. And now let us choose the title. And for title, we want it as tons surplus food by state. Let's change the font color and font size. And the next thing that we need to do is get a line chart. So I'll select a line chart. And in line chart, we will first get the year. So on x-axis, we have year. And on y-axis, we want to show the tons of surplus. So on y-axis, I'll choose tons surplus. Let's just format the title. So for title, we want tons of surplus per year. Let's change the font size, font color. And we are also going to change the background colors for both of them. So for this one, I'll choose background color as this color with transparency of 80%, like the way we did for these two slicers. And again for this one, turn on the background and choose this color with transparency of 80%. And lastly, we need to get a table. So for that, I will select this table. And in here, we want causes. So I'll select causes. And for styling this, let's go to style presets, minimal. For values, let's increase the size to 12. Column headers, size to 12. we need to change the background color for this one as well. So turning on the background, choose this blue color with a transparency of 80%. And then going into values, we want the background to be, choose this color and do the same for the other color as well. And then we're going to do this for the column header as well. So the background header should be this color. Let's keep the horizontal grid lines intact and increase the row padding. Lastly, we need to build the solution. So let's go to solution page. Again, change the canvas background color to the blue color. With 50% transparency. And now again, I will copy the page navigator. Let's paste it here. And now get a text box which says possible solutions. And let's format this to 32. Change the font color to this blue color. And now we get a white background. So for that, let's go to insert, choose shapes, choose a rectangular shape, and we are going to place that here. And now change the background color to white color. So let's go to shape style. We don't want the border, and for fill we want a white color. And let's go to format and send to back so that we can put visuals on top of it. Now the first thing that we need is a slicer. So I will copy this slicer so that we can get the formatting. And instead of sector, we need solution. So solution group and solution name. That's the slicer that we want. And then we need to get a table. So I'll place the table visual here, stretch it all across. And first thing that we need is solution. So I'll get the solution name. Let's get that. Then next we want jobs created. So I'll search jobs created. Next, annual water savings in gallons. Then annual meal equivalents. Then M2CO2e, and then tons diversion. For formatting, we need to first rename them. So this is called as solution. Renaming this as jobs created. Renaming this as annual water savings in gallons. Then again, I'll rename this one as annual meal equivalents diverted. Rename this one as annual MTCO2e reduction potential. And the last one as annual tons diversion potential. Now that this is done, let us go to first style presets and we want minimal. Then for column headers, let us increase the size to 12. Same for values, let us increase the size to 12. And now we can just reduce these. We don't want the totals, so I will turn off the totals. Then going into specific column, for water, annual water savings, we need the value to be in billions. So I'll select display units as billions. Ensure that you select the right series here. Then in annual meal equivalents, we want the display units to be millions. So I'll select millions over here. And let's just reduce this a little bit so that we don't have a scroll bar at the bottom. and all our charts are created. Now all we need to do is we need to hide these. So I will right click on the page and select hide, so that the user uses this navigation. So let's go to problem. And when we are in Power BI desktop, you need to press on control and then select cause. So we are taken to the causes page. Then press control on keyboard and then click on data, so that we are taken on the data page. And then again press control and select solution, so that we are taken on the solutions page. We can just realign all of these to make it neat and tidy. And essentially, that is how you use page navigation in Power BI. I hope you have learned something new from this one. If you have liked the challenge and have learned something, then please do subscribe to the channel. This means the world to me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.